Hey guys, hope you're well. So this lesson we're going to be focusing on plans. For example, we've got questions that are going to look like this, where we've got a school and we're going to be asked questions about that. Then we've got a cinema where we've got a seating plan. We're also going to have questions on a sports stadium and then a shopping center as well as a house. Now, every single one of the questions in this lesson are actually past exam questions, okay? So this is the way that they are going to ask plans. So let's begin. So I decided I don't have to do any theory or anything like that. We can literally just use these examples and you'll get the idea of how this works. Now, some of these pictures aren't that clear, but they'll be good enough. Okay, so this one says, and this is a multiple part question. There's two parts there. So it says, Miss Radebe is at the gate next to grade 1. Okay, so we go and find grade 1. Okay, and then there's a gate. Oh, and it says here, here's where Mrs. Radebe is. Okay, so Mrs. Radebe is standing over here. And her next period is in grade 7. Okay, so she's a teacher that needs to make her way to grade 7. Describe the shortest route. Now, what I've realized is that Miss Radebe is actually outside the school. You see, here's the building, for example. She's standing outside the gate. So she would have to go up the stairs. So she would have to walk through the stairs, through the lobby, which is like your entrance area, into the hallway, and then to the grade 7s like that. Okay, so it says describe the shortest route. So she can, now they told us that north is up in that direction. So remember, east would be there, west, and then south. So we could say that she would turn east and walk to stairs. She could then go north, up stairs, and through the lobby. Then she would turn east and walk to end of hallway and then turn north because she's going to go up. So she's going to turn north and go towards grade 7 classroom. Okay, so that's what she would do. She would go east. Let me just do this for you nicely. She would go east over here, then should go north, then should go east, and then should go north. Okay, let's do another one. So it says, if the dimensions of the school in the map, so this is a map, okay, they've said your school map, is 7 by 4,5. So what they mean is the dimensions of the map. So for example, this length is 7.5, no, that length there is 7 centimeters, sorry, and then this length here is 4.5 centimeters. Calculate the actual length, like what they mean here, they mean in real life, okay? So they mean, yeah, that's a bit confusing that they've added the word map, but they mean like what is it in real life? And then it says that the scale is 1 to 2,000. We can also see that over here. Okay, so we've done questions like this before when we looked at scale. So let's take the 7 centimeters first, okay? So we have a scale of 1 to 2,000, and we know that 7 centimeters. So remember, this is your map, and then this is your real. So this is your, this 7 over here is your map. So to get a 7, you could multiply that 1 by 7, and that would give us a 7. And so because we had to multiply this 1, we had to multiply that with a 7. And so what we can do now is realize that I'm going to take the 7 centimeter. Now, to go from a 1 centimeter and we turn it into 7 centimeters, the way that you do that is you multiply by 7, okay? And then, so what you do to that side, you do to this side as well. And so that's going to give us 14,000. But now, if this is measured in centimeters, then this is also measured in centimeters. But they want us to have it in, where did they say? In meters. Okay, so we need to convert this 14,000 centimeters, which is the real life distance, into meters. So for that, we can use our conversions that we've used before. These ones over here. Now, remember that in between here we have the number 1,000, over here we have the number 100, and over here we have the number 10. When we go this way, we've learned that we multiply. When we go this way, we learned that we divide. So because we are going from centimeters and we are going to meters, we will divide, because we're going to the left. So we will divide with 100. So we could say 14,000 divide by 100, and that's going to give us 140 meters. Okay, so that's the 7 centimeter. So the 7 centimeter is 140 meters. Oh, but that's actually the only one that we have to do, because they said if the dimensions of the school is 7 by 4,5, so that would be called your length, and then the shorter one would be called your breadth. And they just said calculate the actual length of the map in meters. Okay, so they only wanted us to calculate the length. But if they wanted both, then you could easily go and do it with this 4,5, and you could go and convert that. Okay, and so the answer there would be 140 meters. Here we have a cinema screen where, you know, like at a movie, like at the mall, there's cinema. So here's the screen, okay, and then this would be at the back. All right, so how many rows does this movie theater have? Well, it's got 1, 2, 3. Remember, rows go horizontally. These are rows, okay? So it's got 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12 would also count. So that's 12 over there. How many seats can we find in row G? So row G, which is this one over here. Now we can see there's numbers at the top, but just make sure that it all works out. For example, this 1 and this 2, there's actually nothing there if we were looking at row M. So here we can see, okay, there's 6 over there, so that's perfect. Then it goes 7, 8, and yep, everything looks good over there. And then 23, 24, everything looks good there. So there's 28 seats in total. How many seats are reserved for the wheelchair use in total? Okay, so wheelchair here, you can see it's a wheelchair. It might be a little bit weird for you to see, but they would usually an exam, they'll give you like a key. Maybe I forgot to copy that, but a key to show you what each thing means. So this is your wheelchair. So there's 2 over there, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, there we go. If you move from seat D8, so D8 is over there, to seat D15, how many seats did you move to the right? Well, you moved 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So you moved 7 seats to the right. Name one seat that is the furthest from the screen. Okay, so the furthest from the screen would be these ones over here, and so it would be any one of these, okay? Some people might say, yeah, but Kevin, if this is the screen, then this one would be the furthest. But the screen is also here. That's also, oh no, I'm wrong. This is probably the screen. Okay, then the furthest one would be this one over here. Okay, that's just me being very technical, like trying to be super technical. But all 4 of those would have been allowed. But technically the furthest one from this screen over here would be this one, because it's more to the left. Okay, so I'm just going to go with that one, which would be, what is that, M3. M3. All the BMW, like people who love BMWs are like, oh, yo, give M3, bro. okay, that was lame. M3, there we go. If you don't know what an M3 is, it's just a type of BMW. Very popular. Okay, let's move on. All right, so here's another one. This is a stadium now. So it says, how many gates does the stadium have? Well, it's got gate 7, gate 8, gate 9, gate 1, gate 2, gate 3, gate 4. So we just look for the highest one. So it's going to be gate number 10. Gate number 10. Which gate is closest to the family area? Okay, so where's the family area? Oh, here's the family area. So the closest gate would be gate number 6. Harry has a ticket in block Y23. Y23 is over here. So this is where Harry, somewhere sitting over there. And Jerry has a ticket in block B14. Block B14. Okay. Determine the shortest route from block 14 to block Y23. Okay, so this one's pretty easy. What we can just say is that we know that this is the eastern stand, this is the west stand, and this is the south stand. So we can just say that from block 14 to block... Okay, so you would start here, and you would just walk in the direction of the eastern stand. Okay, so you'd just walk in a easterly direction. So we could just say walk in a easterly direction. Okay, what they mean is you mustn't go walk this way, you mustn't go that way. That wouldn't be the longest way, because then you would be going west, and then you would be going south, and then you would be going in a easterly direction. So what we're saying is just go east immediately, and then once you get over here, then you would turn in this direction, which is a southerly direction. So walk in an easterly direction until you get to, so where would you get to? You would get to the east stand. We can just say the east stand. Then walk towards the south stand. Okay, so you walk towards the in an easterly direction towards until you get to the easterly stand, and then once you get there, then you would turn and you would walk towards the south stand until you reach where are we going again? Y23. Okay. Now, if the dimensions of the field, okay, so the field is just this part over here, okay, is 7 by 4,5, so 7 centimeters and 4,5 centimeters. I can see what they've done here. Can you see that these two questions are following the same, this question that I did earlier? If the dimensions are 7 centimeters, but now they're just saying map, and they're using the same scale. These exams were written in different years, so these lazy teachers are just copying the questions pretty much. So I mean, I'm not being rude when I'm saying lazy. I'm just making a joke, but it's funny. Like they're busy, so they just decide to go copy the question. Okay, so it says if the dimensions of the field in the map is 7 by 4,5, calculate the actual length. Just the length. So the length is the longest one. Okay, so it says the scale of the field map is 1 to 2,000. Okay, so obviously we've already done a question like this, but let's just pretend we didn't. So we know that the scale is 1 to 2,000. We can see it here and we can see it here. Okay, 1 to 2,000. So this is the map, and then this is what it would be in real life. So if we have a 7 centimeter length, so to go from a 1 to a 7 on the map, you multiply by 7. So you multiply by 7. But what you do to this one, you also have to do to this one. And so that's going to give us 14,000. Now remember, this is measured in centimeters, so this is also measured in 7 centimeters. But they would like the answer in... Oh no, they didn't say we have to convert it into meters. So it just says calculate the actual length of the field on the map, so we can just leave it as 14,000 centimeters. If you did convert it, that's not wrong. There's nothing wrong with that. 14,000 centimeters. Here's our next one. So we've just got this question, which is the shopping center. And then I think we have one more after that. Let me just double check for you. So we've got that, and then we've got a house. Okay, so we should be done in the next few minutes. Well done if you've made it this far. You are awesome. And you're putting effort into your studies, which is fantastic. So how many checkout points does this superstore have? Oh, I have forgotten to give you the key and the scale, so here everything is. Okay, but this doesn't even help us. Okay, so it says how many checkouts does it have? Well, it says there checkout. Do we see any more checkouts? Maybe there's some that are in a different color. Let's be careful. Boom, 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 boom. Nope, 3. Okay, so there are 3 checkouts. Rancier went to buy toys for his son at the superstore. Okay, so, this is the superstore. Determine the shortest direction to the toys from the entrance. So the entrance is this part here. You see how they're telling us? Those are just doors. Okay, now the toys, at the back of the shop. So if he goes this way, it's going to be a little bit longer. So he could rather go this way, and then that way. Okay, so what we can say is, so you got to understand carefully that if you're walking like this and you turn that way, you're turning right. But some of you are like, Kevin, but this arrow is going left. Yes, but remember, you got to imagine that you're walking from this direction. Just put yourself in that direction. If you turn this way, you're actually going to be turning right. Okay, you're not going to be turning left. It just looks like that from us, from our perspective. Okay, so enter and turn left. We can say turn left just after customer service. Just after customer... Okay, Kevin, write nicely. Customer service. I write so messy sometimes. Well, all the time. Then the guy's going to keep walking until he reaches appliances. Keep walking towards appliances. Then turn. Now remember, if you're going this way and you go like that, That's a left turn. So you're turning left. Turn, not ton, turn left. And then keep going until until he reaches the toys. Okay, next one. Rancia walked from the toys section to the health and beauty section. Okay, health and beauty, where are you? There we go. The distance between these two sections is 80 millimeters. Determine the distance in meters that he walked. Okay. Now, you got to be careful. 80 millimeters is a very, very, very small. That is like 8 centimeters on your ruler. So like it's not even the size of a ruler. So what they meant to say here was that the distance on the map. So the distance on the map is 80 millimeters. Now they want you to determine the actual distance, which is in the real world. And so we need to use the scale. Okay, so we know that the scale is 1 to 200. That's the map. And this is the real. Now on the map, how far did this guy walk? He walked 80 millimeters. Okay, so we can put an 80 over here. So to get from 1 to 80, you multiply by 80. And to do this one, you have to do the same. And so that's going to be 16,000 millimeters. So therefore, 80 millimeters is going to be the same as 16,000 millimeters in real life. Okay, so that's how far he walked in real life, but they want us to convert that into meters. Okay, so we know that kilometers, then comes meters, then comes centimeters, then comes millimeters. Then the numbers in between here is 1,000, 110, and we've learned that if you go this way, multiply. If you go this way, divide. Okay, so we are going to convert millimeters into meters. So that means we are going to divide because we are going to the left. So we're going to say 16,000 divide by all the numbers that we pass. So we're passing a 10 and we 16 meters. Okay, that seems about right for a shop. Yep, 16 meters. All right, here is our last question, but there's multiple parts, so it's there and there. Okay, so what is the compass direction? So this is a house. So what is the compass direction of bedroom 3 from the lounge? So here's the lounge, and here's bedroom 3. Okay, so we know that north is up, south is down, east and west. So if bedroom 3 is there, then it is in between south and east, and so we will say south east. This next question says, how many windows are there? Now remember, they're showing you here that a window is that over there. So the window, it's difficult to see, but there's a window. There's a window. There's a window. There's a window. And, okay, can't really see if there's others. Okay, and then we might argue that there's also going to be one over there. It looks like there's one over there. Okay, so, yeah, it's in a test, they'll make it a bit more clear on the diagram, okay? So if you maybe see one that I've missed, well, you get the idea of what we're doing here. We're just looking for things that look like that, okay? And so that's not difficult to do. So I'm just going to say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I'm just going to say 5 over there. How many interior doors? Okay, so a door is something like that, but it must be on the inside. So this one is not on the inside. That is on the outside. You see, all of this is on the outside. So we want to see how many doors are on the inside. So that would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Are there any more? No, that's on the outside. Okay, so there's going to be 6 doors. You might say this one, but that's on the outside. It says, use your ruler, determine the dimensions of bedroom number 1. Now, be careful. Alert, alert, woo, 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 alarm. Okay, Kevin, calm down, dude. Sorry, guys, I've been in my room for too long, busy recording. So I'm going a bit crazy. So when they say use your ruler, you are not going to get the same answer as me. Why? Because you might be on a cell phone right now, and so your screen is smaller. So when you measure on your ruler, you're going to get a smaller dimension. And you might say, yeah, but Kevin, isn't it all proportional? Nope, it doesn't work. Because if you measure from here to here, you're going to say 1 centimeter, whereas I'm going to, because because I'm zoomed in or you zoomed in, you're going to get a different value, and then you're going to use this scale, and it's all going to give you the wrong answer. Okay, so rather watch to see what I'm going to do now. So I'm going to go get a ruler, and we're going to work out the dimensions of bedroom number 1. Okay, so bedroom number 1 is going to be this one and this one. So we're going to measure its length, and we're going to measure its breadth. Okay, so here I've got my ruler. Now you see how I've put the 0 position just on the inside wall, okay? I don't want to be measuring from the middle. I'm just going to measure from the inside wall. Like if you had to measure from in that room, you would measure from wall to wall. So we're going to measure from the inside wall, and then you would probably get around... Now remember, in a test, they'll give you a range of answers you're allowed to get. It doesn't have to be exact, okay? And so we're going to get here to about 4.4. So I'm going to say 4.4 for the length, centimeters. Okay, but now remember that that's not the length in real life, eh? That's just the length on the map. Oh, but they said here on the floor plan. Oh, okay, so it's 4.4 centimeters on the floor plan. They're not asking for the real life. They just want on the floor plan. Okay, so that's the length. Right, now we need to measure the width. And so now for the width, I'm measuring from here up to here, and that's about 2.4. So it's about 2.4. So we say 2.4 centimeters, and that would be your width. Okay. This question says, using the given scale, calculate the actual. The actual. So that's the real life. Area of bedroom number 1 using meters. Okay, so we know that this length here was 4.4 centimeters, and this length is 2.4 centimeters. So what we're going to do is we are going to convert this into a real life value. So for that you need a scale, which they've given us over here. Okay, so we know that the scale is 1 to 120. So this is always your map, and then this is always your real life or your actual. So what I'm going to do is if I multiply this 1 by 4.4, then it's going to give me 4.4 over here, which is what we have there. And then what I do to this one, I have to also do it to this one. So I'm going to multiply here by 4.4. And so that's going to give 528. Now, if this is measured in centimeters, then this is also measured in centimeters. Okay, so now, but they asked us for meters. So I now need to change this into meters. Okay, so for that, we know that there's kilometers, meters, centimeters, and millimeters. And the number in between is 1,000, then 100, and then a 10. And we've learned that when you go this way, you multiply. When you go this way, you divide. And so we are going to go from centimeters to meters. So we're going to go in that direction. And so we are going to divide. So we're going to say 528. Then we're going to divide that by 100. And that'll give us 5.28 meters. Now that makes sense. If you think about like a normal room, you could get a room that's 5 meters in that direction. That makes sense. So 5.28 meters. Okay, now we're just going to do exactly the same with this one over here. So we know that the map and the scale is 1 to 120. So if we want to get that to 2.4, we can just multiply. We can multiply this by 2.4, and we can multiply this by 2.4. And so that's going to give us 2.4 over here, and then this will become 288. 288. Now, if that's in centimeters, then this one here is also in centimeters. Okay, now we just need to go do the same conversion over here. And so we're just going to say 288 divide by 100, just like we did over here. And that's going to give us 2.88 meters. So that length here would be 2.88 meters. Now we can get the area by simply multiplying these two together. And so we could say 5.28 multiplied by 2.88, and that'll give us, if we round to 2 decimal places, 15.21 meters squared. That's if we round to 2 decimal places, 15.21